Yeah, but
Tonight, we are gonna go too steep for me.
I'm going to skip my team.
This is gonna be the top 10 steepest animes ever.
You're really going with the whole steep thing.
Because the
Anyways.
game is called Steep.
233, week 233, which we didn't mention in any of the other videos. Steep. The games this week, they're like 20 gigabytes.
All
25
sports,
gigabytes.
most of them sports related or simulator related.
Yeah, which was kind of like the theme I was going for, like something so different from what we would normally do. Let's try, see if we enjoy it.
And I think this
We
game,
sort of did.
this game is actually next to Tony Hawk for most enjoyable game of the night.
Yes. If they made the physics more Tony Hawkies, I think it would be even more entertaining, like and like the sound effects.
But for what it is, it's pretty cool.
I think it is a cool game. I think the fact it's an open world, it feels like I think halfway through when we were playing it, I felt okay. This is one of those games where at first it doesn't seem that enjoyable, but like once you
finish tutorial and the gates of hell open up for you
in the middle of the mountain.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like the 10,000-year-old running clock that the Amazon CEO is trying to build. You know, maybe it sounds weird right now, but maybe in 1,000 years it might be,
something that everyone
worth the $6 million or whatever it costs, $42 million to make.
He's making a clock.
He's making a clock inside a mountain that's going to run for 10,000 years, and the cuckoo is going to come out every 1,000 years. And he wants to build something so people think of the future. I'm like, this is not what I would have done, but okay. But anyways, this game is definitely a game that once you start investing time in it, you see how it can be fun. But I feel like
it also
kind
feels
of like
massively multiplayer.
Yeah, I feel like this is a game, if you play with your friends, I can see it being fun. But I think if you're just playing against other people that you don't know, I can see why this game supposedly didn't sell that well, because it feels like sort of a sports game, but it doesn't have, like, it's too much simulation, I find, than arcade. Like, it has a bit of the moments of arcade.
Yeah, like when you're racing down mountains, but like when it gets too simulating, when it gets to
doesn't have like that thrill factor of like arcade games.
Like the controls, I'm gonna have to complain about the controls because
be prone.
Yeah, because the controls are just. We were stuck at one section because we had no idea what to do next, and the controls were so stubborn.
And we got stuck on the corner of the platform.
Yeah. So we the scenario was we were gonna use the wingspan outfit to fly down the mountain and then use our parachute to shoot ourselves down. But the problem was we were stuck on the thing, and the tutorial was stuck thinking that we were still at that section when we needed to know how to jump off and use our wingspan. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so we spent way too much time
like 10 minutes just standing there and the
figuring
guy was
out how to use the jumping mechanic.
Which I was using fine, like 5 times in a row, and I couldn't. You had good air, and the problem was I wasn't getting good enough air to stay.
And most times, like when I do select the thing I want to use, I just pratfall, which frustrates me.
You just prone straight in the snow, like, I don't need to jump, guys.
It really frustrates me. And then there's also the indicator that, like when you first play the game, you don't know that your character can actually survive falls. Like, it doesn't matter if he goes through several hundred trees or cracks a few bones and even his neck.
You hear the sounds, but you don't actually
He just gets up fine, and it's like, okay, make up your mind. Is this a simulator game? Is this an arcade game?
That's the thing about this game. Like, it's a thin walk between, like, am I a simulator, am I arcade?
Like,
and it's like, no, I'm both, and that's what confuses it.
Like the many controls and all that suggest it's like a simulator game, but the fact that you can survive all these falls and that you get points for doing cool stunts. And you
parachute into the tree as you did.
Yeah, and like you even have like a rocket wingsuit that you unlock right after you finish the tutorial. It makes me think it's more arcadey, and
the problem is it feels arcadey, but it's not arcadey enough that you get the fun of an arcade racing game or
it's
arcade.
It's trying to eat 2 cakes and by the time he eats the second cake, he's so full from the first cake that he develops diabetes and dies.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
I'm not sure how that really worked out, that analogy, but it's like having two cakes, but neither of them have cream on top. So you sort of settle with eating the two cakes, and
You just don't feel satisfied.
you still don't. Yeah, you still feel like you should go play 1080 snowboarding, because that's what I felt when I first started playing this. I'm like, hey, cool, it looks like 1080 snowboarding. Oh, it doesn't play like 1080 snowboarding.
It does
Like,
play
it
pretty
makes
good.
me want to
though.
play 1080 snowboarding.
It does play
The
pretty
original.
good though. I
It's
will
64.
admit. Once you get past the
more
tutorial,
about racing
once
tricks.
you get adjusted to controls, it's a very steep learning curve. Steep, but once you get a hang of it, you get a hang of it. You can play it. You can play with people. You can play it like this is an open world.
People that are
This
online that could not be people.
this is an open world
Yeah,
game that's
okay.
unlike any other. Like, name me one. Like, there's not a lot of open world sports games where you can just go around and just do whatever you want sports wise.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's just like, okay,
That's why it's
this is
promising.
week 1.
It's just-
face this guy. Week 2, face that guy.
That's why it's promising, and it's kind of a shame. Like, it feels like a misfire, to me at least, that like it had the potential to be more exciting, and unfortunately, because of the way that they made it more
Open experience.
simulated.
Oh yeah, simulated.
Yeah, rather than like
Arcade.
you know,
I think that's its major low point. If this was like hell, if at the risk of
and the
sounding,
snow looks amazing too. I'd say the graphics. We have it on low, and
the
I've
graphics
seen
are
pictures
still
from this game.
great.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that
By
the
far-
actual play is different. It's not as like exciting as it could be. I feel.
By far the most beautiful game
Snow.
we've played.
Played the most beautiful.
The
Play-Doh
snow
game.
was great too. Like
Yeah.
you step on the snow and it makes impacts dense.
Yeah, and it's the best snow I've ever seen in a game.
And like
After playing the best plasticine game.
I think I know what to give this for a rating. This is a really good game, except for that one part.
When the dog comes along and pees in your white snow.
Yeah, like-
so suddenly it
so,
drops
like-
the score of the game down because the dog came along and peed in your
Before I
snow.
give my final rating though, I just want to say, at the risk of sounding crazy, what they could have done was make this a little more accessible, like they can loosen the controls a bit. So that way it's like, oh yeah. I mean the controls are pretty loose as it is, but like make it more have it like have
Casual.
like yeah, like have a button that automatically lets him jump
Or play style.
off instead of having to select the wingspan and then
Yeah,
do
the
it.
controls to me don't make sense.
Yeah, but then
That's
also
a
add
big
like
issue,
crazy.
too.
Yeah, oh sorry. And then also add like crazy modes, like you have to survive the Yeti attack,
Yeah, like game modes that are more arcade-like.
outrun the Yeti, fight Santa Claus. His elves are coming with bows and arrows and
It's
light.
RoboCop.
Yeah, like something crazy, like something like
Godzilla's running after you on Osaka Mountain.
like the story
Get the
mode
hell
have
out
it
of
be
there.
like, oh, it's
Into
actually
the
a hidden
chopper.
prequel to one of the Far Cry games. You know, something like-
Predators coming to murder you. Go to the jungle.
Yeah. There's a DLC mission where you have to outrun Altair as he comes and tries to assassinate you. Something like that. Something
Or
crazy.
like Terminator.
Terminator. Like if they have like. But what I'm trying to
Industrial
say is
snow
like.
complex.
But okay, I've
Like
gone off
Contra.
topic.
You could be a Contra offshoot. You play as one of the Contra guys, and you're trying to get away from the aliens in the Alien Wars. But anyways, yeah, I think this game really.
Final
nice.
rating is a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, but Yellow Snow brings it down to, I guess, 7.5.
For
because-
him.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah. For
I
me,
get the
I'm
Yellow
easily
Snow's
entertained,
rating.
so 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of steep cost for a game that doesn't play the price that you pay. All right, keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming.
Bye.